Hey everybody, welcome back to Plugin Tut, your home for handcrafted WordPress plugin tutorials. Taking a little break towards the end of my 2-week vacation before I start my new day job at Castos.com and Seriously Simple Podcasting plugin. And going to be doing all kinds of podcasting stuff. I can't wait, and I'll have more of an update on that throughout the channel. And I've been following along what GeneratePress has coming. And you can too. If you go to their changelog section, you can check out what's happening with their beta version now for GeneratePress Premium, and what they're doing to expand their Elements feature in the Pro version of GeneratePress, specifically with Gutenberg and specifically with their GenerateBlocks plugin. Now, I have it on good accord that this is going to be, or there will be, a Pro version coming. Many of you who follow this brand probably knows that already. But they're going to be launching a Pro version of GenerateBlocks that's going to come with over 100 patterns and probably some other secret sauce as well. I can't wait to learn a little bit more about that from the fine folks over at GeneratePress. But what I want to show you today is something that's super powerful, and it's really getting me excited to see where GeneratePress is going. And that's leveraging their Elements section, but specifically for blocks. And we can build a custom footer, making footer building and header building and site building just a whole heck of a lot easier. And without the page builder, right? The typical approach of an Elementor or Beaver builder, although this is fairly close, I'd say, to a a Beaver themer approach. GeneratePress has their own element section. Let's dive right into that, and I'm going to show you what that means. So I'm currently running GeneratePress with just a basic installed site, of course. GenerateBlocks and their Elements feature activated. Let's add a new element. We're going to call this a block element. We're going to create this, and this is going to be for our footer. So footer area. Now, you might be very used to building footers with widgets, using the customizer, putting in widgets, and in fact, that's how GeneratePress works by default right now before they really incorporate this probably in a future release. But we're going to do this with all Gutenberg. And I guess you don't even need GenerateBlocks. You don't necessarily need to use GenerateBlocks if you have a favorite Gutenberg block and it's styled compatibly with GeneratePress, then you can use that as well. We're going to put the container in first to contain all of our elements, and I'm just going to approach this. I don't want that. We're going to approach this as if we were building a basic 3-column footer. And I'm going to use the GenerateBlocks grid. I accidentally put this here, so let's just do this. Let's say footer area. This will just for visual sake so we can see it when we look at the front end. I'm going to say about us, again, as if we were building out a typical site. I'm going to say Ipsum text. I don't have my offices in shambles right now, so I don't have the typical setup that I normally do, so I do apologize for that. We're going to say sitemap. Nope. We're going to put in a paragraph first, and then we'll say sitemap. And I'm just building out simple Gutenberg text elements right now. I don't have more than 2 pages on this site. I don't think so. I'm going to use a simple unordered list for right now. We'll say nav1, nav2, nav3. So this is obviously not the typical WordPress menu, but if you were building a tiny site and you didn't need that menu to populate dynamically, you could simply do this too. You could just have an unordered list and then just link the pages as your sitemap. And then we'll just take a look at one interesting block in the GenerateBlocks suite, and that's the button. And we'll just call this iTunes, because I'll say subscribe to our show on iTunes. We'll do another one as well. We'll say subscribe, or we'll say iTunes and Google, or Spotify. You can see these buttons are touching each other, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of spacing on the top one, 5 pixels, and then on the second one, spacing 5 pixels. If you want to see more of what you can do with GenerateBlocks, you can check out my other video. We'll just make that green because that's Spotify, and we'll make this purple because I think iTunes is purple as well. So that's what I'll do there. Maybe we just put in a paragraph that says subscribe. And if we can grab this, I thought I could grab it. Let's just move it up this way. Bold it. Boom. So that's our typical footer area, right? 3 columns, super simple, some text about. We'll hit publish. We'll publish that. And one of the really amazing things about Elements and this new way of doing it with Generate blocks is you have all this power to hook into many of the areas of GeneratePress, the theme, and you can do some dynamic display. So if you want it to be on the entire site, just the front page, just blog posts, you can do that. If you want to exclude it on certain pages and maybe swap in another footer, or even show these elements to logged in users or certain roles of your site. So if you had a membership site, logged in e-commerce, you can show these different footers or contents that you have with Gutenberg blocks, all very simply done with their Elements feature. And again, you can hook into anything that GeneratePress has a hook for. So very, very powerful. We're just going to leave this as a footer for right now. Hit update. And then we'll visit the site and hit refresh. Whoops. Let me go back to Elements. Edit. Check the visibility one more time and forget that we want it to display on the entire site. So let's go ahead and hit update again now. So this will definitely show in the footer across the entire site. Visit the site. Boom. And there it is. Now it goes below when I'm using that hook, you can see this is where it started. This is where that section started. That's my footer area text that I put in, and then our example footer content. You can see it goes right below the GeneratePress actual footer. And that's where you can go in, if you go into the customizer of GeneratePress, you can see if we go into layout, footer, this is that copyright section that you see right here. So I'm just going to say plugin tut so you can see it change and understand. So if you want to preserve using this section maybe for the copyright, but obviously we would never put this below the copyright. So we're going to just hit publish, close this, go back to the Elements dashboard or options page, edit. And we're going to change it from showing it on the WP footer, which is all the way at the bottom. We'll search for footer, and you see all of these different hooks we have for the footer section. So we can say take over the entire Generate footer or before the actual GeneratePress footer content. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to hit that one, hit update. Look at the site one more time. And there it is. So now that customized footer is there, and we're preserving this copyright section. Maybe you want to just preserve it for this copyright section, or you just build it right into your custom, footer area. The point is you have options, and it almost makes you feel like a very powerful developer. And that's what makes a good product in my eyes. When something makes me feel much more powerful, much smarter than I actually am, then I really come to appreciate the product. And again, beta version, so go at it. If you're a customer, you can download it of GeneratePress Pro. It's a beta version, as Tom's mentioning here, so go at it with some caution. But check it out. It's fun stuff. I'm excited to see where they're going with it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the Pro version of GenerateBlocks. Fingers crossed Tom sends me a secret copy before it gets released. We'll see. All right, it's plugintut.com, plugintut.com/subscribe to join the mailing list. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you want more. We'll see you in the next one.